There's dealing with AI disruption, right? And I think part of the unhelpful approach is to try to keep up with all the different tools. Every day there's like 500 new tools that get dropped on us. I think we're better served by focusing on broad types, on things like text to image generators, on large language models, on conversational search, and understanding how they function, understanding, maybe how they shouldn't be used, for example, rather than picking everybody's favorite. No, I like ChatGPT. No, I like Claude. No, I like a different skin of that same type of AI tool. That's unhelpful. Um, then we just get into kind of this weird arms race where we never really settle on anything. And we need to learn this so that we can teach. Our patrons have lots of questions, and AI literacy is increasingly important. We're going to be getting questions. We're information specialists. And the best way to learn, much like the mobile devices, is to get hands-on. That being said, you want to experiment, but experiment safely. Um, you want to be able to make sure that you're not doing things like putting in patron information, for example. You want to stick to the confidentiality of patron records. You want to put confidential information into these systems. And the idea is that you experiment safely, for example, with an email address maybe that's new, that's not as tied to you as an individual. You experiment safely, you get used to these tools, you don't put stuff in that's problematic. And while you get competency with these, just an understanding of how they work and how they can be used, all of those other questions that were waiting to be answered can get answered over time. The copyright questions, any legislative action that's coming down eventually. So we familiarize ourselves with it. We see some of the ways that it can and can't be used or should and shouldn't be used, put ourselves in a position to help our patrons when they have these same questions, and we've already seen some of the privacy concerns and can share those concerns with them. We don't have to have it all figured out, but we want to do what we can to get better at this as certainty comes later. This is kind of the timeline we're on right now, at least at my library. We're looking at policy and procedure development. In the absence of legislative action, in absence of a regulatory environment, we have to set some guardrails. So we're looking at what existing law there is governing confidentiality of patron records. We're comparing it to the terms of service of these tools, things like ChatGPT, and then seeing where it should and shouldn't be used. We've started a user group now where our staff is going to be experimenting safely with these tools to see, again, what are the use cases potentially, what should be avoided. And then, of course, we'll figure out adoption. And adoption means investing in specific tools. It may be a financial investment, but it's also an investment in training. And having seen some of the use cases with a user group, then we can use these folks as lead trainers to kind of work on a rollout.